Hey guys, it's Bronwyn back with Big Sky Diamond Painting. I am working on this Staroar Mermaid that has all these different colors of types of drills, not colors. And I've got my drills kitted up in the Harbor Freight containers. Gonna be honest with you, so far, not really a fan. And also, if I had been thinking, I would have put the stickers on the front, but I wasn't thinking. So I've got them on the top. But that's not that big of a deal because there's so few colors in this. It's not that hard to keep everything in order. But I'm just not really a fan of how the containers hold things. But this is a relatively small painting, so it's not going to be a really big deal. Anyway, I figured I would just do a quick WIP and chat today, since my partner is busy playing like an online D&D thing with his dad and some an old friend of his dad's. They're doing D&D online, so I'm gonna film this while I have the alone time, since I have nothing else to do, and we'll just get caught up, and I'll talk about the holidays and the holidays being over and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna get started. You'll get to see how I work in my little tiny workspace. Oh, there we go. Turn on my my lamp. Anywho, if you have been in any of the lives that I've visited lately, you probably already know, but my partner did get hired where I work, and he's going to be starting in February. So he has already finished the job he currently worked at, was working at, because they closed down their call center division at the end of 2019, because they've been kind of losing clients, and they made a decision that they were no longer going to pursue their call center business. And they kind of just did a mishmash of phone support for different things. He did phone support for small internet service providers that did DSL internet, and he would take down reports of power outages for small power companies and things like that. So they were losing clients and stuff like that, and the overarching company basically decided, okay, we're not going to do call center operations anymore. So I think about 60 people ended up losing their jobs when they closed down that division. And so they kept them till the end of 2019. And we had probably, I think October was when they found out. So we had a few months to worry. I'm working now, so it wasn't, as big of a worry as it would have been if I wasn't working. But we definitely were a little bit nervous. And then at the end of November, the place where I work announced that they were going to be hiring a class to start in January, the end of January. So obviously he jumped right on that, and he interviewed there the week after Thanksgiving, and we found out on December 30th that he had been hired. And it was really funny because I like left work and all the supervisors were in a meeting, and they usually are in a meeting on Monday, but in that meeting apparently one of the things on the agenda was picking out who to hire, because between when I left and when I got home, Jeremy had gotten the phone call that he was hired. And the reason I'm pretty sure it was in that meeting is because I had actually casually asked one of the supervisors if they'd hired anyone yet. And they hadn't. So I figured, okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, so they moved the training class back a week, so they're not going to start till February rather than the end of January. And we don't have to worry. He got an okay severance package from the place that let him go. You know, it's not amazing or anything, but honestly, this is Montana we're talking about. Most places don't give you like an incredible severance package anyway. And I think there's some kind of rule that you have to have like 6 months notice or something for certain types of things. So I think that they gave him like 3 months notice and then like 3 months worth of pay as severance or something like that, because that's about how much it works out to. But you know, whatever. The point is, it's going to get us through January along with me getting paid. And then in February, he'll start working where I work, and that will also save us gas. So that's going to be nice. And all in all, it's just kind of a load off. And, you know, kind of a nice way to start the new year. You know, I don't have to worry now. And he's got jobs lined up, so he doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to, you know, search around looking for other places to apply, that kind of stuff. And it's going to be a lot better. So we're pretty excited about that. He's nervous about the job, and we work in insurance, so he's also like a little bit like, you know, oh, you know, I feel bad working for like an evil corporation or whatever, but I have kind of just comforted myself with the fact that in the US, our healthcare system is so messed up anyway that we're, and I'm not going to say the company I work for, but the company I work for is honestly one of the less evil ones, because it's, I mean, we do want to get a profit, but we're owned by the members. Like, so it's not like publicly traded or anything. So we're not answering to shareholders and things like that. So that helps a lot to mitigate things. Not to say that, I mean, gosh, I remember one time, and I was lucky, but I was having some back problems in college. And I got an MRI done. And I went to the, excuse me, I got an appointment with the neurologist, or the neurosurgeon, or whatever. Neurosurgeon, yeah, neurosurgeon. And they, before even meeting me, they had looked at my MRI, and they were, like, ready to do surgery. They were, you know, they looked at that, and they saw, like, my compressed discs, and they were like, oh, crap, man, this is bad. You know, like, they were ready to do surgery. But then, of course, like, I walked in, and it just happened that in the long-ass time it took to get in to see the guy, my pain had pretty much disappeared. So I was lucky in that this guy realized that, okay, well, if you're not having pain, we don't need to do surgery. But it could have just as well been someone who didn't think that way, and I could have ended up having a surgery I didn't need at that point in time, because I've since learned that only like a third of surgical interventions for back pain, and that's even when you have like compressed discs and that whole thing, only like a third of the time does it work, because, you know, they get so focused on the imaging, and they're not always, you know, 100% sure that it's the spot that's actually causing the pain. And sometimes, you know, even when they have, you know, done all that, it still doesn't help. And that just terrifies me, because, you know, I do have back problems that might need surgery one day, and it scares me to think that, you know, that a surgery won't work. But that's, you know, kind of a last-ditch effort. Right now, I do a lot of physical therapy and things like that, and that tends to help a lot more. You know, and I also take lots of, I shouldn't say lots, I try to mitigate as much as I can, but I take ibuprofen when I need it. Occasionally, if something gets really bad, the doctors, like, I'll get like a muscle relaxant or like a more heavy-duty painkiller. But especially now, where, you know, we're kind of in a time where it's harder to get the more heavy-duty painkillers, because they are so addictive. And like, I mean, I'm scared to death. Like, when I was on them for my wisdom teeth, like, I remember feeling like I was having like withdrawal symptoms after just like one dose. Like, I was feeling like nauseous and like shaky, and it was just like, wow, okay, so this is scary. And that was just like when I was using them for pain relief. Like, and it's like twice as easy to get addicted if you're using them recreationally. So I can only imagine, like, what it's like to actually have an addiction for that. And I've got kind of an addictive personality anyway, so I'm always really careful whenever I have to be on like a more intense painkiller. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm judging anybody, because I think that due to the whole thing, we've overcorrected, because there are a lot of people that legitimately have illnesses that can only be helped with those painkillers. And I don't think it's fair that they are being taken off them cold turkey, because, you know, doctors are now afraid to be, you know, doctors are now basically being told you can't prescribe these at all. So, you know, it's rough. I just am kind of mad that we're in that situation in the first place, because somebody decided that they were going to say, oh, well, they're not addictive at all in the first place. But that was a while ago. Anyway, on to more, well, okay, I guess semi-related. I'm having some back pain right now that started on New Year's Eve, and as a result, I didn't do any of the overtime I was supposed to do, because the beginning of the year in health insurance is always a really rough time. So I didn't do any of the overtime I was supposed to do. because it hurt to sit at my desk at work. I am doing a lot of my rescue position that my physical therapist gave me. That has seemed to be slowly helping, and I'm going to be doing that this weekend as well. And I hope that by Monday I'm relatively pain-free, but we shall see. If I'm not, I will continue to not do overtime, because more time at my desk means more time I can't be in my rescue position. And my health is more important than their numbers. We're being honest here. But, you know, like, nobody likes doing overtime, but I do like the opportunity to do overtime because it's extra money. I mean, who doesn't like that? But yeah, so, I'm struggling a little bit with that right now, and that did kind of suck to be muddling through New Year's with back pain. But, you know, it comes and goes for me. Alright. I finished a Ever Moment painting at work on the 31st. And it's in my portfolio, so I'm not going to bring it out to show you. It's pretty big. It's like, where's my notebook? I can show you in the notebook, because there's a fun story about this one, and it's going to be in a video later. Basically, this was an Ever Moment that I purchased before I realized that the whole thing about, you know, some diamond painting artists, some artists having licensed diamond paintings, and also, this, at the time that I purchased it, it was not on Diamond Art Club's website, but I since realized, like, I since found it, it's like an old discontinued painting, so it's a 40 by 55, so I guess it's not that big. There we go. So it's that little winged elephant. Anyway, I finished that, because I had, Diamond Art Club faked me out a couple times. I got emails saying it was back in stock when it wasn't. So I was kind of just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this painting because I want to see how it looks. And it's never coming back in stock from Diamond Art Club. So I'm just going to do it. I'll deal with the guilt. I just won't show it on my channel. You know, maybe I'll, down the line, buy something directly from that artist. Plus, that artist has done 3 other paintings from Diamond Art Club that I did buy. Well, lo and behold, guess what came back in stock last weekend? Well, I don't know when it came back in stock, because apparently I'm not on the email anymore. But anyway, when Diamond Art Club was having that, like, end of year 25% off secret sale that wasn't that big of a secret, it was back in stock. So I bought it. I'm really trying not to buy paintings right now, but that sale was too good to pass up when there were 2 paintings that I wanted. I wanted that one, and I wanted Space for Reflection by Chuck Pinson, because that was the one that I tried to order, and Diamond Art Club sent me that email that was like, oh, our last one was damaged, so we have to refund you. I'm sure it's just that they oversold, but I think that's just their generic line for, hey, sorry, we have to refund you. Look, I mean, I've worked in customer service. I know when there's a generic line. It's fine. It's cute that they try. Anyway, I had to get that one. And I figure what I'll do is I will complete the Diamond Art Club version of the pink elephant. And then do a comparison and show how much better the DAC is. Now, like, not to shit on Evermoment, truly, because I do like them. Their drills were fucking amazing. Pardon my French, but their drills were really nice. I mean, it was a delight to work on that painting, but the charting was definitely not Diamond Art Club level of quality. And that's the thing. Diamond Art Club just does amazing with their charting. Not to say they never make mistakes, because there's definitely some errors, especially in the Mandy Manzano Disney princesses, particularly the ones that are being discontinued. That's still my theory as to why they're being discontinued, but, you know, they have not confirmed it, so I shall continue to just have a theory that's unconfirmed. But the point is that their charting is really, really great. And I'm hoping that as a result, the finished product will look a little bit nicer. And I can show a comparison. And kind of just be like, look, if the moral imperative is not enough for you, you can at least see that this one looks better. And you know, I could be wrong. Maybe the Evermoment will turn out to be the nicer one, but I don't think so. There were a couple things with the Evermoment. You know, they're straight up digital charting system didn't quite work out in the favor of this painting. So I think that Diamond Art Club will probably do a nice job on it. But, you know, aside from that, I just feel like I owe it to the artist, since I bought a knockoff, to buy the legit version. So, yeah. Yeah. Another thing I did for the new year was I counted up all the diamond paintings that I have in my stash and finished. And it came out to like 107 total, with 44 of those finished. So I feel like that's not too bad of a ratio. My partner thinks that's too many, of course. And, you know, like, I see his point of view, like, I really do, because I don't have space for all my Diamond Art Clubs. And I have more coming, and, so I totally get it, but that's part of why I'm trying to buckle down on actually doing paintings. Because, like, you know, I'm working on one at work all the time now. Right now I have my Victoria's Moon at work. Oh gosh, guys, I am sorry. I didn't mean to make that gross noise. I'll try to cut it out. Anyway, I have my Victoria's Moon at work, and it's not as bad as I thought working on one that big at my desk. I'm getting about a section, like a square per day done, a little over. But, like, I just kind of want to work through my stash a bit. Pippa had a really good suggestion when I was in Wolfpack's Live this past Thursday. She was going to try to complete 4 paintings before she bought 1 painting. And I feel like that's a decent ratio. I might tweak it a little bit, but, you know, I do want to, like, you know, churn some out before I build up the stash anymore. So, you know, there's that. Alright. Looks like we're almost done with this color for a bit. I do, it's kind of funny working on, like, such a tiny, like, this painting feels so little compared to the ones I've been working on at work that are so big. Okay. Alright. Good enough. But yeah, I am just not a fan of these containers. I don't know. I like the price. Like, I like that they're so cheap, especially for how much you can fit in one of them. But I am just not particularly a fan of them, because when they're closed, like, there's this little lip that forms up here in the cap, so, like, the drills can get caught, so you have to, like, tap them down, and it's just, ugh, I don't like it. Do not like, but, you know, like I said before, this is a small enough painting, it's not gonna be a big deal, it's not gonna hurt me. Oh, sorry guys, really. So anyway, let's see. Let's talk Christmas hauls, since I'm thinking of things to talk about. Actually, let's pause this video and start a new segment. Okay, we've started a new segment. Anyway, so, we did a low-key Christmas. We thought that my partner was going to have to work on Christmas because the person that could decide he didn't have to work was on vacation. So it was basically going to be just my partner in the office monitoring emails the whole day. So we ended up opening everything on Christmas Eve, which worked for me, except I didn't finish my mother-in-law's present, but that was fine. She doesn't mind getting her thing a little late. I think it mostly worked out. I got a lot of gift cards. I have them all shoved in here into my little rare form card holder that I got for free because my bag that I ordered from them, Rareform's the one that does the bags out of old billboards. They're actually really nice. I'm still not quite sure if they're worth the full price, but I always buy them on sale. And anyway, my order was like in another warehouse, so it took forever to ship. So they sent me a free card holder. But anyway, got a lot of gift cards. I got a little Caesar's gift card. I got one for Ulta. I got a Joann's gift card. I got a Hobby Lobby gift card. You know, lots of stuff. I got a coloring book and a scratch-off mandala art book from my sister-in-law and her husband, which I really liked. They weren't on my main, like, Christmas wish list, but they are a lot better than my partner about going on other wish lists to find stuff. And I don't mind that they did it, even though it wasn't on my main wish list, because they picked good things. My partner got me a die cutting machine, a Sizzix Big Shot, which I'm pretty excited about. I got a duvet, which meant I got to order a duvet cover, which I ordered I ordered one from Redbubble. Once I realized that Redbubble had duvet covers, I went and found this artist that I really like. This one like series that they do of like pride colored whales. And they had the sexuality whales plus aromanity, and they did have them on the duvet covers, so I got the duvet cover of that, and hopefully that's going to come today, but if not, it'll get here Monday. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm trying to think. Oh, we got like random candy. My in-laws always do that. I got some cash. Always do that. Nothing diamond painting related, because I don't trust them to pick anything out diamond painting related. Oh, I got 2 Ita bags, which are those little purses with like the clear inserts so that you can put like pins and fan stuff in them. And I got a little set of enamel pins. And of course, the one that I already have outfitted with pins is not handy right now for me to show you, but it's very cute. Oh, here we go. So yeah. The other one's a backpack with little kitty ears on the top, but I don't have pins in it yet, so I'm not showing it off. But yeah, this is... I didn't do like a themed collection. I just stuck a bunch of random pins from my collection in there. For the other one, I'm gonna make an insert. That one came with its own insert, but the other one I want to make an insert because pins get heavy, and if I actually want to use it, I don't want the pin backs in the bag, and that one's basically just like a clear pocket, whereas that little purse that I just showed you came with an insert. So I am pretty excited about those too. So yeah, I feel like I did pretty good. Everyone seemed to like the gifts that they got from us. I gave my mother-in-law like a little set of mini albums, and I filled one of them with pictures of the cats that I had photoshopped little hats on, and she seemed to enjoy that. And also we stuck a gift card to Pizza Hut in there because they like to go out to Pizza Hut for lunch on Mondays. Because Pizza Hut does like our Pizza Hut has like a buffet, a lunch buffet, which is just like the best thing. I wish we had like a CC's, you know, like a, but we don't have that here in Montana, so we just have the Pizza Hut, and the lunch buffet is like my favorite thing in Pizza Hut, because I don't have to commit to one kind of pizza. I can just get a slice of a bunch of different kinds of pizza. So that's what they did. So that's what we did for her. And then my father-in-law, I just got him some random stuff. Including, so I ordered a sun lamp. from Circadian Optics, because they have this one that's like really narrow and can fit on a desk. Like, you know how normally like those mood lamps are kind of like a big wide thing? Well, this one place, Circadian Optics, has one that's like narrow and it fits like in a very small space. I mean, it's like this wide. I'll put a picture of it on here. But I think they were on Shark Tank or something. I don't know. The point is, I needed something that was small, that would fit in my desk space. And someone at work told me about it. So I looked it up and I ordered one. I was like, sweet. I'm super excited for it to get here. It got here, and I opened the box. The box felt weird. Okay, so I get the box, and it's like it's rattling. Like it's a dull rattle, but it's rattling. And I'm like, uh-oh. It doesn't seem like a sun lamp should be rattling at all. So I'm already a little worried. I open it up, and it is a box full of apple blossom or apple barrel, whatever. It's a box full of little acrylic paints, like the little kind that come in like the little canister, you know, instead of a tube. I don't have them any in here, but like, you know what I'm talking about. They come in like a little squeeze canister rather than a tube, you know. Like there's a Martha Stewart brand and all these time, but these are like the cheap ones they sell at Walmart. And it's just a box full of those in all different colors. And I was like, what? And I look on like the label on the box and everything, and it says it's from Circadian Optics. Like the whole thing is just the weirdest thing. So I immediately am like, you know, go to customer support and I'm like, hey, I didn't get a lamp. I got a box full of acrylic paint. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And then turns out they can't resend it to me because it came from inventory or some shit. I don't know. So they can refund me and I can rebuy it. So they refund me the money and I have to reorder my lamp, which I do. But then I'm like stuck with these paints. But my father-in-law paints like Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, and he happens to use that brand of acrylic paint for that. So I just wrapped those up and gave them to him for Christmas. But I also got him like a frying pan and a sleeping bag. So it's not like we only gave him the thing I got for free. But it was just the weirdest thing. I mean, it was so bizarre. Anyway, I did order my lamp and I finally got it, and it's great, and I think it really is helping with the seasonal depression. I'm trying to put it on me every morning before I go to work for at least like 10 minutes or so. And like I said, I really do think it's helping because I have felt better. But, you know, it could be a combo of stuff, so I'm not gonna, like, say that's the only thing that's doing it. But it definitely seems to be contributing. Let's see, I think, oh, I got my partner's uncle, we got him, like, a road rage, like a book of road rage sayings. And he really got a kick out of that. It's basically like a flip book, like a spiral bound book that has different road rage sayings, like use your blinker, fucker, and things like that. And for his younger brother, we got him a bipod mount for his rifle. think that covers it. Oh yeah, his sister-in-law, or his sister, my sister-in-law, and her husband, we got them some stuff off their wish list, which I don't really remember off the top of my head, because I literally just went through their wish list and was like, this looks good, this looks good. I know one of the things I got his sister was a flapper dress, because she's really into like that vintage cosplay type stuff. So I'm pretty happy, you know, with what we did gift-wise. I'm just a little bit sad that I didn't get to put as much, like, effort into it, I guess, as I normally would, because normally that's, like, really fun for me. I like picking out gifts and like figuring out what to get people, and this year I just wasn't feeling it. But like I said in my last video, I got hit by the seasonal depression pretty hard, and I'm feeling a little bit better, possibly attributed to the sun lamp, but you know, still working through it. And I mean, we're in Montana, so it's still at least 3 more months left of this crap. So, not much you can do. Alright, so let's see. Let us work on, let's do S. Which is going to be this one. Yes. Oh, see, some caught in the lip. These drills, these Staroar round drills are really nice. Although, to be honest, like, most of the time, when I'm working with round drills, like, it seems to be really easy for places to get nice round drills. Square drills, for sure, are the thing that places have trouble doing well. You know, it's rare that I get a painting with bad round drills. Oh, man. Okay, so let's see what else to talk about. Cat had to go to the vet this week. I was at work, but my partner took him. I guess he's lost 3 pounds, which is more than I expected. Everyone else in the house seems to think he looks like he's lost weight, so I guess he must have, but I think it's harder to notice when you're the one that's like always cuddling him day to day, so you don't notice any big changes. But that's good, because it makes me think, okay, good, like, we're regulating his food intake, so he's not, you know, eating too much. But, you know, I think he's still fat. It's probably always going to be a problem for him. Poor little guy. I have such mixed feelings about it. It's harder for cats, you know, because the food's made to just taste so good, and they just can't self-regulate most of the time. Whereas, you know, I'm of the mind for people that largely we need to learn to listen to our bodies. But like for a cat, you know, they're not wired necessarily to be able to understand that, you know, the food is going to keep coming and they don't need to always be eating it. Like, the food will be there later. You know, on that base instinct level, you know, it might not be there later. And also, it just tastes so good. So I always have, like, really mixed feelings about having him on any kind of regulated diet. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. It's different for a pet. Anyway, he also got his shot, and I guess he needed to have his anal glands expressed because they were impacted again. The joys of having indoor pets. Just being a vet is gross, guys. Like, the stuff they have to do. And like, I know I have friends that are vets because I went to Cornell and they have like a really strong vet school. And so I have a lot of friends that like went there undergrad and then also went there for vet school. And so like, I know being a vet is gross. But like, it's always like in such like stark contrast, like it just not the contrast, but like it's just like such a stark reminder when I take like we take our cat to the vet and they have to do something like that, and it's just like, yep, you know, I love you guys for doing this job, because not only do you get to do all this gross stuff, but you also get to deal with people's pets dying and sometimes getting blamed for it. So thank you so much for going into massive amounts of debt, because vet school is more expensive than med school. If you didn't know that, it's the truth. Vet school is more expensive than med school, and they don't have the same kind of programs where, like with med school, sometimes you'll have like programs where if you work in like a rural hospital or something like that, you can get your debt forgiven, but they don't have that for vet schools most of the time. So, you know, remember that next time you're worried about how much it costs to take your cat to the vet. Compared to human health care, it's a bargain. Anyhow, let's see. There's not really anything else interesting going on. It's January, so work is a little bit rough. Basically, if you don't know what January means in terms of healthcare, that is when most, in the U.S. anyway, probably a lot of other places that have health insurance, but I know the U.S. has kind of got a messed up system. That's when most health insurance plans reset. Now, there's a little bump in September and July because there's a lot of plans that also reset those times. Those are usually like fiscal year and like school year resets, but the biggest bump is in January because most plans run on a calendar year. So what'll happen is you'll get doctor's offices that'll call in when the insurance changes just to see if there's been any change in the benefits for that year. So, you know, if they're used to their patient having like a $20 copay to come see them, they call in just to make sure that it's still a $20 copay. Now, sometimes it is a $20 copay. Sometimes the employer has changed it up and decided that they're going to actually make it subject to a deductible and a coinsurance. Now, if you don't know what that means that they have to pay the deductible. So if there's a deductible, let's say it's like a $500 deductible, that's actually low these days, but say the deductible is $500. So what that means is you have to pay full price for all your doctor's appointments until you hit $500. Then once you've hit $500, you are going to pay your what we call the coinsurance, which is usually something like 20% of whatever the price is. So if that changes, like the doctor's offices, they want to know. Now, the problem comes when from my perspective, when, you know, that's a patient that they aren't even going to see till November, but they're calling in January because they just want to, you know, have it on file. But, you know, I'm not going to tell them that to their face or anything. They're our customers, and that's just kind of their system for doing things. So, I'm, and especially, like, if January is when they have time, then whatever. But, we get a lot of that. And then also, what makes it further more of an issue is that because things have changed, a lot of times there are times when we can't even access the benefits. Like, they haven't been loaded into our system that coded all that stuff yet, because the employers or whoever waited until the last minute to negotiate what the benefits were going to be or decide what they were going to be. So we have to, like, go look for them manually, or sometimes we can't even find them, and we have to tell the doctor's office, like, okay, we're going to give you a call back when we find these, when they're finalized, that kind of thing. Because sometimes, even by January, like, they're still not finalized. Like, the employer hasn't decided, if they're going to go this way or that way. And that's, that just adds, like, so much time. Like, I swear, like, normally, I don't even have to do benefits. Like, normally I just deal with claim stuff. But, normally, giving someone benefits for, like, an office visit or something like that, that'll take, like, under 5 minutes to just, pull that up, tell them what the benefits are, give them a reference number, send them on their way. But that can take upwards of half an hour when they're not loaded into our system. And that's all just because whoever makes the decisions regarding what the benefits are going to be doesn't have them decided, to a certain time. And, so it basically just means, in short terms, that January is really, really, really tough for us. So, it means we work. What did I just do? Like a blister starting there or something. What on earth? Okay, anyway. It's just kind of a stressful time because you kind of go, 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 go. You don't really get a break. You work a lot of overtime. Plus, it's January, so, it's bleary, it's cold. You're probably getting sick because your kid's bringing home, who knows what kind of flu bug or cold. You're, depressed because the holidays are over. Or you're depressed because, you had to see your horrible family over the holidays. So it can just be a kind of a rough time. But the good news is it's not forever. And you just have to remember that. And that's what I tell myself. And the other good news is that all that overtime means lots of extra money. So that you can spend that extra money making yourself feel better. But, so far it hasn't been too bad, but I suspect that that's because New Year's was in the middle of the week. And people might be saving it for next week. But it could also just be that we have more people this year. We're always growing, and that could be part of it. So we're going to see how it goes the rest of this month. I'm hopeful that it won't be too bad. And I'm kind of just, I think the other thing too that I have to remember is to not get too caught up in the culture of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's January, we need to blah, 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 like, just, if you don't stress about it as much being, like, if you don't stress as much about it being January, like, it doesn't feel as bad. So I'm I'm doing that. You know, trying to keep that attitude, because that does help a little bit too. Plus, you know, everybody who's calling, like, I mean, sometimes they don't get it, but most of them are in the same boat. Like, it's a busy time for doctors' offices because there's a lot of new people with insurance that are trying to get in to see doctors. You know, people who had maximums that were met don't have maximums anymore, so they want to get in. And, you know, it's just overall kind of a heavy time for everybody. So, alright, I think that is where I'm going to end it for today, because I've got probably a little bit under an hour of footage, and that's going to take forever to upload anyway, and I think that's a good length for WIP and Chat. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will try to do more with you, and I'll try to figure out what on earth is on my hand, if that's like a weird splinter or a blister starting or what it is. And if you guys want to see more WIP and Chats, leave a comment, like this video if you liked it, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I will catch y'all on the flip side. Bye-bye.